Welcome to day 14. Well, we're going to actually read the beginning of chapter 14, verses 1 through 11, first thing. It says, "Every wise woman encourages and builds up her family, but a foolish woman over time will tear it down by her own actions. Lovers of truth follow the right path because of their wonderment and worship of God. But the devious display their disdain for him. The words of a proud fool will all come back to haunt him, but the words of the wise will become a shield of protection around them. The only clean stable is an empty stable. So if you want the work of an ox and to enjoy an abundant harvest, you'll have a mess or two to clean up. An honest witness will never lie, but a deceitful witness lies with every breath. The intellectually arrogant seek for wisdom, but they never seem to discover what they claim they're looking for. For revelation knowledge flows to the one who hungers for understanding. The words of the wise are like weapons of knowledge. If you need wise counsel, stay away from the fool, for the wisdom of the wise will keep life on the right track, while the fool only deceives himself and refuses to face reality. Fools mock the need for repentance, while the favor of God rests upon all his lovers. Don't expect anyone to fully understand both the bitterness and the joys of all you experience in your life. The household of the wicked is soon torn apart, while the family of the righteous flourishes." And we could keep reading. There are some other really good little nuggets in this. But the title of this chapter is The House of Wisdom. And the Lord really began to speak to me as a mother. So I have 7 children, and we had babies all really close together. And it really stuck out to me that a wise woman encourages and builds up her family. But a foolish woman over time will tear it down by her own actions. And I know for me, I want to be a mother and a woman that encourages and builds up my family. Even on the hard days, even when the house is a wreck, it actually talks about, when I read it through the eyes of the woman building her family, and this is as the house of wisdom, I went to the verse 4, where it says, this is so great. The only clean stable is an empty stable. And there were a lot of years when we had little ones where everything was just always a mess, right? Like always a mess, couldn't keep up, couldn't catch up. But it says, if you want the work of an ox and to enjoy an abundant harvest, you'll have a mess or two clean up. In the NIV, it says, where there are no oxen, the manger is empty. But from the strength of an ox comes an abundant harvest. It might be cleaner with no ox, okay? It might be cleaner, but it's empty. And there's no harvest that comes. And when we are raising families and we're building them up and we are leading the next generation, there are going to be messes along the way, but the harvest is always worthwhile. And in verse 11, it says, the family of the righteous flourishes. Did you know that the fear of the Lord leads to generational blessing? That when we lead our families in a God-fearing way, it leads to generational blessing, not just for us, but for generations. In verse 26 and 27 of chapter 14, it says, he who fears the Lord has a secure fortress, and for his children, it will be a refuge. For my children, if I fear the Lord, not only do I have a secure fortress, but my children will also have a refuge. It says the fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning a man from the snares of death. The fear of the Lord has generational blessings. I want to encourage those of you with children and grandchildren to seek the fear of the Lord, seek to grow in that, seek to build up your family. with wisdom, to build them up, to encourage them, to lead them towards the things of the Lord, so that you can have generational blessing, so that even though there might be a few messes to clean up, you can reap that harvest in future generations.